Can you believe that right there in your cozy kitchen, the very place where you've spent a lifetime nurturing your family and saving every penny for your loved ones, there hides a deadly, silent killer. A habit we often mistake for the noble virtue of thriftiness is, in fact, silently generating toxic substances. Day by day, it is damaging your body without leaving a single warning sign until it is far too late. Do you want to know what that habit is? Before we uncover this truth together, if you find this information valuable for your family's health, please hit the subscribe button. Your support motivates me to continue spreading this life-saving knowledge to as many people as possible. Now let's uncover this secret together. The warning I just gave may have come as a shock, but let us take a moment to collect ourselves and set aside any anxiety so we can delve into the root of the matter and decode these 5 familiar yet mysterious friends on our daily dinner table. We often think that a good meal is a complete one, a sign of cherishing our food, but sometimes that very appreciation comes with biological misunderstandings that, if left unaddressed, leave us inadvertently placing our bodies on high alert without even realizing it. First, I'd like us to revisit crispy fried foods. I know the crackling sound of chicken or potatoes fresh out of the fryer is the most enticing sound in any kitchen. But when that food cools down and you decide to reheat it in a pan of oil or a microwave, a silent chemical process takes place. The cooking oils we typically use, no matter how high quality they are, have heat limits. Upon reheating, high temperatures cause the oil to oxidize, breaking down its structure and releasing compounds called aldehydes. I like to call these the silent saboteurs. Instead of providing energy, they act like microscopic chemical debris infiltrating your cells, causing inflammation, and slowly wearing down the resilience of your body. Instead of refrying in oil, consider using an oven or an air fryer. Dry heat does not alter the oil's structure. It restores that crispness without the toxic burden. Next is the story of lush, green, leafy vegetables, the pride of every family meal. I know you always want your children and grandchildren to get enough fiber and vitamins, but green leaves, especially kale or spinach, contain natural nitrates. When you cook them, the nitrates remain stable. But when you leave the leftovers for another meal and reheat them, the temperature acts as a catalyst, converting nitrates into nitrites, and from nitrites into nitrosamines. This is a substance that we in the medical field are always wary of because of its potential to damage cellular DNA. It's like accidentally inviting an uninvited guest into your home. The solution here isn't to stop eating vegetables, but to adopt a mindset of just enough. Cook only the amount of vegetables you need for a single meal. The freshness of vegetables right after cooking offers the highest nutritional value you can give your body, rather than trying to prolong the life of the dish by reheating it. Now, regarding white rice, a staple that has raised generations of us, I want you to be even more cautious. Rice isn't just starch, it's an ideal environment for a bacterial spore called Bacillus cereus. These spores have a magical ability to be extremely heat resistant. Even boiling temperatures cannot kill them completely. When rice cools down at room temperature, these spores wake up, multiply, and release toxins. These toxins are heat stable, meaning even if you reheat the rice until it's piping hot, the toxins remain. That is why sometimes you might feel tired or unwell without knowing the cause. Change how you manage your time with rice. After cooking, cool it down as quickly as possible and store it in the refrigerator. Remember the 24-hour rule, that is the absolute safety limit to keep the rice pure without it becoming a harbor for unwanted guests. Moving on to chicken, a dish many of you choose for main meals. I often see you reheating chicken in the microwave for convenience, but the microwave is a difficult physics problem when it comes to heat distribution. Microwaves heat food unevenly, creating hot spots and cold spots throughout the meat. In those cold spots, bacteria like Salmonella or Campylobacter can still survive and thrive. When you eat, you cannot know which part of the meat you are consuming. Do not let the convenience of the microwave deceive your eyes. Use an oven so the heat is distributed evenly, or better yet, turn the leftover chicken into a cold salad. Cold chicken served with some greens, a bit of vinegar, and olive oil. That is not just a safe way to eat, but a truly refined culinary treat. Finally, the last friend we need to reconsider is the potato. Once cooked and cooled, potatoes form a type of resistant starch that is excellent for digestion and blood sugar. But that magic is lost the moment you reheat them. Furthermore, this reheating process can increase acrylamide levels, a compound we should strictly limit. Reheating potatoes not only strips away nutritional value, but also creates a shock for the pancreas, as it is forced to work harder to process the sudden spike in sugar. Enjoy potatoes as a cold salad, or if you must have them hot, steam them gently instead of refrying them. Do you see? There are no bad foods, only suboptimal ways of handling them. The changes I've shared don't require you to change your entire life, just a few small habits in the kitchen each day. When we understand the nature of what we are doing, we are no longer passive. We become masters of our own health. These changes, when practiced consistently, will transform your kitchen from a place of hidden risks into a laboratory of well-being. That is how we show love, not just to ourselves, but to everyone sharing the meal with us. And now, having understood these secrets, I believe you are ready to make these first changes, starting with dinner tonight. Understanding the core principles behind food transformation is one thing, but turning that knowledge into the very breath and rhythm of your kitchen is what truly makes the difference. I understand that asking you to completely change habits you've held for decades is unimaginable, and I have never expected that. Health is not the result of a few extreme actions or harsh diets. It is built from small habits, maintained consistently over days and months. When you stand before the refrigerator in the afternoon, don't let anxiety about bacteria or chemicals paralyze you, because fear doesn't help the body get healthier. It only causes us to lose the necessary flexibility. Instead, let understanding guide your hands. Remember, change does not mean eliminating the dishes you love, but changing the way we treat them. Instead of following the beaten path of putting everything in the microwave, try starting with the dry heat rule. Just an oven or an air fryer can completely change the chemical reaction of the food, helping to retain flavor without harming the cells. If you have to reuse food, pay attention to the speed of cooling and time control. Just a few minutes of cooling rice quickly before putting it in the fridge, or the habit of cooking only enough vegetables for a meal, and you are proactively protecting your pancreas without having to change your daily menu. I believe that the human body's capacity for self-healing is the most miraculous thing that medicine has witnessed in all my years in the profession. Our pancreas, that silent organ, has worked tirelessly throughout your entire life without asking for anything in return. Therefore, those small changes starting tonight, even just the decision not to reheat a plate of vegetables or to gently reheat with steam instead of oil, is the most sincere thank you you can send to your body. Think of the kitchen as a place where you practice the art of protecting your health, where alertness and knowledge turn into well-being. You don't need to become an expert, you only need to become the best companion to your own body. And when you look back after a year, you will be surprised at how those small, steady changes have created such strong vitality for your entire family. Looking back on the journey we have just taken, from crispy fried foods to fresh green vegetables or the familiar bowl of white rice, I believe you have gained a completely different perspective on your own kitchen. We have peeled back the truths about the chemical changes that occur when heat is applied a second time to food. What I want you to remember is not anxiety when entering the kitchen, but mindfulness in every small decision. Thriftiness is a noble virtue and a fundamental trait of ours, but if that thriftiness unintentionally puts pressure on the pancreas, the silent hero of the body, then that is the moment we need to adjust how we care for ourselves. The deepest lesson I want to share with you is that life is the sum of small but persistent choices. We often spend our whole lives caring for our careers, our children, and our families, but we forget that we ourselves are the foundation of all that happiness. Health is not a destination. It is a process of cherishing our bodies every day through every spoonful of rice and every way we choose to reheat our food. Do not let the word convenience lull your mindfulness to sleep, because the price of that convenience is sometimes the erosion of health that we are unaware of. To apply this to your daily life, you do not need to completely change your menu or give up the foods you love. Start with observation. When looking at a plate of leftovers, instead of mechanically putting it in the microwave, take a moment to consider, does this dish really need to be reheated? If it does, apply the dry heat method or cool it down quickly. Make the kitchen a place to practice a scientific lifestyle. If you cook rice, cool and store it immediately if there is any left. If it is green vegetables, prioritize cooking just enough. These small adjustments, repeated daily, will become a solid shield protecting you from potential health risks. Let the kitchen be a place that nourishes health, where every dish you serve not only holds love, but also reflects respect for your own precious body. This change is not difficult. It just requires a little perseverance and true self-love. Before we finish, I really want to hear from you. Out of the 5 types of food I just mentioned, which one do you reheat most often in your family meals? Please leave a comment below. I and everyone else look forward to hearing your thoughts. If you find this information helpful for your health and your families, I hope you will take a moment to subscribe to the channel to support me. Your interest is a great source of motivation for me to continue researching and sharing more useful information in upcoming videos. Thank you very much.